I remember reading up about an interesting subculture in the online manosphere and men's rights movement that piqued my interest in 2017. The MGTOW was a funny acronym, but it encapsulated a feeling of disillusionment among the male population about dating, relationships, and women. From Reddit forums to YouTube videos to seminars in real life, the MGTOW movement describes itself as a crowd of men going their own way, which means completely checking out of dealing with women for serious relationships, and at max just spinning plates and using women for lustful gratification. Some even went far and beyond into monk mode, giving up not just on relationships, but lust altogether. The movement struck me as ill-conceived then, and it still does now. While there are certainly good reasons to understand the anger and frustration many men have, I don't see how running in the opposite direction will ever make men's lives better. As someone who advocates for men's rights and talks about men's issues myself, I want to take the opportunity to study the MGTOW movement in some detail and see how much of it is worth replicating for the young men in my audience. So listen on to understand what makes the MGTOW good, versus how much of it is venting and blowing steam instead of actually resolving the problem. Let me start by making one thing abundantly clear. The modern dating world is an absolute cesspit that spares no young man trying to make it or find women for relationships. The sad fact of the matter is, sexual inequality is higher than it has ever been, and the modern genocentric legal system has disincentivized men from dealing with women in a marital commitment. I have seen men have their lives destroyed, reputations scarred, finances drained, and confidence smashed after making the mistake of dealing with a toxic woman. It is said that if you're burned once by boiling water, you touch even the swimming pool 10 times before jumping in. The MGTOW is the result of a conscious effort to mitigate the detriments of dealing with women, and serves to create a distance between men and the source of their problems in the modern dating world. Look at the lives of people like Johnny Depp and Jeff Bezos, and it becomes clear why men's grievances exist. It doesn't even matter anymore how rich and powerful you are. If you're dealing with the wrong woman, she possesses the power to completely drain you of your wealth and reputation and drag you through courts for years. The modern male predicament is a sad reminder of what happens when society overcorrects and tilts too far in the direction of femme-centrism. Johnny Depp's public trial, despite its conclusion, was surely a harrowing ordeal for him. Being dragged through the legal system, having all your dirty laundry aired in front of the world, and becoming demeaned and accused in public is enough to destroy the self-esteem and confidence of any man, no matter what the result at the end. I believe the Depp-Heard trial served as a watershed moment in the MGTOW space, and lend it popular credence more than it ever did before. You also see people like Jeff Bezos, who came up with a useful idea and toiled away his entire life to create a business around it. Then comes along a woman, wrecks his wealth and public image, and takes away half his net worth. Instances like these repeatedly remind men that dealing with women can quickly become a curse if you pick the wrong one. So one thing is absolutely clear, there is no shortage of reasons why men might feel disillusioned with dating and relationships and decide to simply walk away. But here's the deal, men and masculinity aren't about burying your head in the sand like an ostrich. It's about taking stock of the problem at hand and making the best out of a bad situation. I'm fond of something Andrew Tate once said, and I think it's pertinent that MGTOW men understand this on a deeper level. He said that for a man, there is no life without the healthy inclusion of women. Mating, family, and relationships are an inescapable part of a fulfilling life for a man, and there is no way you can find happiness across your entire lifespan without children and women by your side. Deciding to forego relationships means fighting a war against your biology and emotions, which you are bound to lose sooner or later. I remember Jordan Peterson talking about MGTOW in a way that made complete sense. For many young people, it's very hard to imagine themselves in the later stages of life. This means that decisions and opinions are built on a very narrow strand of life experience and wisdom. Going completely MGTOW might just be one of these decisions for a man. So what should you do? Surrounded by a snake pit of toxic women who can do you more harm than good, you might find yourself frustrated, resentful, and confused about your next move. Let me help you make sense of the cacophony of different voices you hear from the online world and give you a middle path you can safely tread. Go back to the origin of the modern dating scenario, and you'll see that it was the result of a breakdown of traditional family, marriage, commitment, and relationships. The lustful free-for-all has done away with all these societal constraints and left men out in the cold searching for an answer to their predicament. MGTOW is hard to define from a moral standpoint, but there is certainly a more pragmatic approach that men can take in regard to it. Modern men find themselves stuck between two extremes, unable to participate in the lustful hookup culture that dominates young people, and also unable to find a loyal and attractive woman to date for a long-term marital commitment. Here's the hard pragmatic choice you must make. You need to pick one side and dedicate your efforts to securing it. A lot of your failures in the dating market that leave you angry and rejected are the result of a degenerating society around you, and this is the world from which you must salvage the good women still left and commit to them. You must check out from the world of relationships, but only after finding and settling for one woman that is worth it. You need to go your own way, but with a woman that will stay by you even though she might not be the most attractive girl you've become used to seeing. Does this approach involve sacrifice? Yes. But there is hardly anything in life that doesn't. It is said that nothing in life is inherently good or evil. It is the person at the helm that makes it either way. All you can do now is make a practical decision for your own life, and for that I just don't believe going MGTOW is a tenable solution across the entirety of your lifespan. Life is about sacrificing one thing to go all out for another. It's about accepting the opportunity cost. It's about coming to terms with the fact that neither end of the spectrum between rampant lustful escapades and going your own way is the ideal solution. And it's about trying to find solid ground somewhere in the middle that at least gives you a shot at a happy life, even in old age. Masculinity is about forgoing emotion in favor of doing what makes the most pragmatic and dignified sense. This is why I believe the young men in my audience need to be encouraged to find a solution to their dating troubles instead of just looking away and pretending their life is happier alone. Take stock of modern society, understand your position on the grand chessboard of life, and think of the next best move. If you do, you'll quickly realize that a life without women and children is ultimately empty, and the very antithesis of your biological and evolutionary imperatives. But the next step is to make the smartest move in your dating life, and that requires deep knowledge and wisdom about how to navigate this complex maze. That's why this channel exists, to give you the information in minutes that it took me years of experience of learning these lessons the hard way. If that sounds interesting, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Share this video with your friends and peers, and build a strong network of smart and competent men around you. The knowledge you find here will help put you ahead of the masses of blue-pilled men still plugged into the matrix or falling prey to ultimately counterproductive ideas. Stay strong and stay humble.